In this session, we're going to explain the use of the transfer command. We use transfer to move our entity to a different part of the program. So if an entity that can be a client, a product, or anything else gets in a part of the program where we have to decide where it should go depending on where he came from, that's a good example of how to use the transfer command. We have three types of transfer: the probabilistic transfer, the transfer both, and the unconditional transfer. Before we can explain a lot more about these three kinds of transfer command, we are going to see this example. Let's think that in a situation like this system, the clients arrive every 5 seconds. 2/3 of these clients are going to process 1, and 1/3 is going to process 2. This means that of every 3 clients, 2 go to process 1 and 1 go to process 2. Process 1 and process 2 are kind of the same. They both have infinite queues, and those queues are attended by one server. The service time is of 10 seconds. After leaving each process, the entities or the clients try to enter a line with a capacity of 3. If they can't enter that line, they are going to go away. They are going to leave early the system. If they can enter the line, they are going to wait there until one of 3 servers is free to give them a 1-minute attention. After this attention, they exit the process. Let's see how this will look like. At the beginning, at the first 5 seconds, a client arrives, is a client of process 1, and since there is no one being attended, he goes straight up to server 1. 5 seconds later, the first client is still being attended, and a second client arrive. They are both from the 2/3 of process 1. In the next 5 seconds arrives a different kind of client, a client of process 2. And this is how it looks like. Client 1A is still being attended. Client 2A is in the first queue, and client 1B is in service for process 2. Every client with an A is of process 1, and every client with a B is of process 2. In the next 20 seconds, the first client finishes the process. There is no one waiting in the line with a capacity of 3, so it goes straight up to the first server of the storage. The second client of process 1 is now being attended. There is a third one that it's in line, and the client of process 2 is still being attended. In the next second, we have this situation. I'm not going to stop explaining every slide. In the next 5 seconds, this is what occurs. We have 3 clients being attended in the last storage, but they are taking 1 minute of attention. It first arrived 1A, then 2A and 1B get this attention. After client 3A finishes process 1, goes to the line with the capacity. The line begins to occupy. Then comes to B, arrive new client. Every 5 seconds, there's a new client arriving. Now, we have an interesting situation here. We have 3 clients being attended in the storage. The storage is full. The line with a capacity of 3, that it's also on storage, it's full at its capacity. And we have 2 clients being attended, one in process 1, another in process 2. So now it's a situation where the line with the capacity is full, and there are 2 clients that when they finish the process, they will try to enter to this line. Another client arrives, 5A and 3B still hasn't finished the process. And here's what happened. 5A and 3B couldn't enter the storage, the line with a capacity of 3, and they have to leave early the system because they couldn't enter to the storage. We continue the process. Now 6A leave early. We still haven't had a client that finishes the whole process, and we already have 3 clients that have left early. If this process were to give us an income of, let's say, $10, we have lost $30 and we haven't earned a single one. Now we have 4 clients that have left early because of the capacity of the storage that it's full. In this at second 75, our first client, the 1A client, exits the process, but we have 4 clients that already left early. We continue. Now we have 3 clients that finish the process, and in this situation is where I'm going to stop. At 90 seconds, we have 3 clients that have finished the process, 4 that have left early, and this is the situation. We have 3 clients being attended in the third process. The storage of this process is full. There is 2 clients being attended, one on process 1, one on process 2. We have 3 clients in line in the infinite queue 1, and there isn't any clients on the infinite queue number 2. So after seeing this, we can ask ourselves, how do we identify the transfer? They are a probabilistic transfer, an unconditional transfer, and the transfer both. First, we are going to explain the probabilistic transfer. When we arrive and then we get transferred 1/3 to process 1 and 2/3 to process 2. This is wrong. This is wrong. It's the other way around. It's 2/3 go to infinite queue number 1 and 1/3 go to process 2. But this is an example of the probabilistic transfer. This is 0.66 and this is 0.34, just for having the whole one probabilistic, or the whole 100. This is an example of the probabilistic transfer, and we can see it in the next slides. 1A arrives and goes to process 1, 2A arrives and goes to process 2, 2/3, and 1B arrives and goes to process 2. 2 in process 1, 1 in process 2, 2/3, 1/3. Now, how's the unconditional transfer? In this situation, we are about to finish our process. 3A and 2B are about to finish the process, and they want to go to the same place. This same place is the line with a capacity of 3. This is an example or where we need to use the unconditional transfer. They come from different parts of the process and they want to go to the same place. This is an example. 3A, 1, 2, line with a capacity of 3. 2B also goes to this same line. 3A and 2B came from different part of the process of the system, and they go to the same line. Therefore, A. And last but not least, the transfer both. When do we need to use transfer both? In this situation, we are about to finish process 1 and process 2, and the next queue is at its full capacity. 5A and 3B doesn't have the opportunity of entering the line with a capacity of 3. So, since there was no free space in the next queue, they left early. And this is the use of the transfer both. They try to enter the line. If they can, they enter. And if they can't, they leave early. Now, let's program it on GPSs. We're going to open a new model. I'm going to save it. I'm going to name it the use of transfer. Since I already have one, I'm going to change a little bit the name. Okay. First of all, I'm going to define the storage. I'm going to return a little bit to the presentation. We have two storages here, the line and the servers. So I'm going to say that LNE3 is an storage, the capacity of 3, and servers is also an storage with a capacity of 3. We're going to generate transactions every 5 seconds. There are no standard deviations. It's a constant distribution. Every 5 seconds, a client arrives. Then we use the transfer, the probabilistic transfer. And it's 2/3 go to process 1 and 1/3 go to process 2. So 2/3, I'm going to say and there are two labels. The first command is the type of the command. Since it's a quantity, this number, 0.667, it's a probabilistic transfer. Now we're going to have two labels. The first label, I'm going to name it process 2. The second label, I'm going to name it process 1. This means that there is a line that is going to be named process 2 and another line that is going to be named process 1. This 667% of the entities are going to go to process 1, to the second label, not the first one, to the second label. So 66.7% of the distribution is going to process 1 and the rest is going to process 2. This is 2/3 to process 1, 1/3 to process 2. And I'm going with process 1. This is the label, process 1. And in process 1, what they do is they queue LNE1. They seize server 1. They depart LNE1, they advance 10, also a constant, no standard deviation, 10 seconds. They release server 1, and since they have finished the first process, I'm going to use the probabilistic transfer. The first parameter is going to be nothing. I'm just going to put a comma, and I'm going to name the line. Let's see what's a convenient name. Let's see the diagram. It's this part. They have finished the first process, and it's going to go to the line with a capacity of 3. So I'm going to name this line try. And I'm going to continue with process 2. I'm not going to go right away to try. I'm going to program process 2. I'm going to copy this part of the program. I'm going to paste it right here. I'm going to name it process 2. I'm going to change some names. The line is line 2. The server is also server 2. Again, line number 2. Okay, this is an error. This is what I wanted to change. Line 2 and server 2. If there's any problem, the GPS program is going to tell me. So now we can return to the diagram and say we program process 1, we program process 2, and now we're going to program this part. We can say that this is process 3. So the try line, the line labeled try, would be this part where they are going to try to enter the line with a capacity of 3. So in try, I am going to use the transfer both. The A parameter is going to be the word both, and I'm going to name the first label can and the second label cannot. Different from the probabilistic transfer, transfer both first tries to enter or tries to execute the line that is going to be named can, and if it cannot, it's going to go to the line named cannot. So in the line can, it's going to try to enter the storage name LNE3, that is the line with a capacity of 3. If he can enter, he enters that storage. Then he's going to enter a second server that is going to be named servers, that it's already named servers without the vocals. Then he's going to leave LNE3. He's going to get his attended, and he's going to advance 60 because we are using seconds. After the attention, it's going to leave the servers, and he's going to terminate 1. This terminate 1 indicates that the client has finished the process, but I still need to program the line labeled cannot. And those who cannot enter the line with a capacity of 3 left early, so we also terminate them. This terminate is only going to be used for those entities who couldn't enter the line with a capacity of 3. I'm going to save this program, save it again. I'm going to create the simulation. Let's see if there are any errors. It looks that there aren't any. I return to the command window. I choose start, and I'm going to simulate for 100 clients to start. This is the result. It took 685 seconds to attend 100 clients. How many of those clients left? 68. This means that we only attended 32 clients. Of 100 clients, we only attended 32 and 68 left early. Server 1 of process 1 has an utilization of 99.3% of the time, and server 2 only 54. We could have expected this because server 2 only attends 1/3 of the total of the clients. On line 3, we have an estimated average time of waited of 100 seconds. On line 2, only 1.757 seconds. The storage, line 3, has a utilization of 77.6%, and the servers were almost full. 96.8% of the time they were used. So we're going to finish this explanation right here and see you in the next video.